I was very good at people, warm, present, genuinely interested. I could sit with someone and make them feel like they were the only person in the room. But there was always a line, an invisible line that I knew exactly where it was, even if no one else knew about it. And the moment someone moved forward towards that line, something in me quietly, almost imperceptibly, stepped back. It didn't ever appear like coldness. It looked like being busy, like needing space, like I'm just a private person. Sometimes, like changing the subject at exactly that right moment. I was available for everyone. I was just not reachable. And for a long time, I told myself a story about this, that I was independent, self contained, that I didn't need people the way other people seemed to need others, that I was somehow built differently. Maybe I was stronger, I told myself. And it was a very good story. The problem was, it just wasn't true. The truth was much simpler, but much harder. I kept people at arm's length because at some point, early enough that I don't even remember clearly, getting close to someone cost me something that I couldn't afford to lose again. It cost me my trust, my sense of safety. Something in me kept getting wounded whenever I was very close to people. And the only logical response that my system knew was, do not get that close again. And so I built the wall, not dramatically, not overnight, brick by brick, cleverly, intelligently. A wall so well constructed that it began to look like my personality. And for a very long time, it worked. I didn't get hurt the way I had been hurt before. But here's what I didn't understand about walls, which I understand now. They don't only keep the pain out, they keep everything out. The love that you say you want, that can't get in. The connection that you quietly ache for, that can't get in. The experience of being truly known by another human being as exactly who you are, what you stand for, whether it is the frightened one, the vulnerable one, the hurt one, that can't get in either. And so you end up with a life that looks from the outside as full, but feels strangely empty from the inside. You are surrounded by people, but not held by anyone. And that was me for longer than I would like to admit. What I finally understood, and this took years, I mean, really years, was this: the wall was really never about other people. It was what I believed would happen to me if I let someone in. What would happen to me if they left? So it is I who changed. I took that vulnerable, soft version of me and I changed it. I wasn't afraid of intimacy. I was afraid about the loss that intimacy could bring. I wasn't afraid of abandonment. I was afraid of losing who I believed I was if someone abandoned me. And this is what the wall was protecting me against. Not people, but that specific pain. And here is what changed things for me. Not a decision to be more open, not a commitment to vulnerability, not telling myself that I was safe now and that the past is in the past. What changed things for me was understanding that the wall was causing me more pain than the risk of actual pain. That the loneliness of being unreachable has its own kind of devastation that is much quieter than heartbreak, less dramatic maybe, but it erodes something from within. The wall, I thought, kept me safe, but safety is not the same as being alive. So if you have a wall, I'm not going to tell you to tear that wall down because I know that that is not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Walls are built over decades and certainly don't come down in one day. But what I will tell you is what I wish someone had told me 20 years earlier. There is another option: letting someone in slowly, watching what they do with what you've given them, trusting your own reading of what you see, not throwing the doors open all at once, but not sealing them either. Just deliberately, consciously taking down one brick at a time. Here is the thing that is really important. If you allow even one person in, it makes a change in the entire internal landscape. That part of you that has constantly learned to stay hidden begins to realize that it is safe enough to exist without the wall, begins to realize that not everyone is going to walk away, begins to realize that there are people who really see you, love you, and accept you for who you are. The arm's length kept me intact, but letting people in one by one has made me whole again.